Hello and welcome to a new video series here on Super Type 1. This may become a series if you guys happen to like this idea, and if not, could just be a one-time thing. Today, we will be documenting the E3 2001 appearance of a little-known game simply known as Grand Theft Auto 3, or GTA 3 for short. Now, I don't need to explain Grand Theft Auto at this point as it's a well-known global franchise worldwide. But of course, just like any well-known thing, it had some rather humble beginnings. The series started as a top-down franchise, starting with Grand Theft Auto in 1997, which itself received two London-themed mission packs with London 1969 and 1961, both releasing in 1999. Later that same year, Rockstar had released a sequel, Grand Theft Auto 2, or simply just GTA 2. Despite a mixed reception from critics, it was more successful than the first game, which prompted to make a third entry. However, for that third entry, Rockstar had wanted to do something much bigger, and since the 6th generation of console gaming was just arriving, they had begun to start work on a 3D Grand Theft Auto game, which was originally known as Grand Theft Auto 3D. This was later shortened to just Grand Theft Auto 3. This would become Rockstar's most ambitious project yet. Development had started just after GTA 2. Rockstar had wanted to work with Sony's hardware, and Sony had wanted to work with Rockstar. The two were able to form a deal, and they got developers to work on this ambitious sequel. Rockstar North, then DMA Design, wanted the game to be both very popular and well praised, and wanted tons of media recognition. They had started off by inviting a lot of different magazine and review outlets to play early builds of their game. The next step, of course, were for press conferences, with the biggest one of them all being the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or simply just known as E3. In May of 2001, Rockstar appeared on E3 with an early but playable build of Grand Theft Auto 3. They even made a trailer for this announcement, which I will show now.
My boy will string you up. See what that guy did? You'll pay in blood for this. Come on.
Let's document some of the changes that you may have noticed within this trailer. Starts off with the camera going around a few of Liberty City's locations. The most interesting of these transitions is this transition here, where you can notice that the area looks rather empty. A lot of objects in the middle of the road are missing, and there are no trees in the park. The time cycle or skybox also happens to look different here, as well as the particle smoke. As notable here, the blue police cars that are well known for being in the GTA 3 betas is also seen here. In the final build, they were changed into black. The modeling used for the members of the Diablo gang had also gone quite a bit of a makeover from this build to the final game. The car color of the Banshee is not accessible in the final game. Actually though, a lot of the cars have color schemes here that are not available in the final game either. The hospital here looks considerably different to the final game. The building here is on a hill with a downhill road that goes down to a parking lot. The shooting animation of the gun is extremely different, not to mention that the sound was also changed, but there's a chance that this might have just been edited in later. The rotor blade looks a lot more realistic here, more like the rotors from Vice City. Claude himself happens to look a bit different. It seems like the game was using the Player X model, which is a cutscene version used for Claude, which also looks different, of course. Also note the early box art here, along with the reddish logo that preoccupies it. This was changed into the box art style still in use today, largely due to the attacks at the World Trade Center on September 11th that same year. However, despite this, the cover was not changed in the PAL territories. Now, heading back to their E3 appearance, GTA 3 was a playable demo that ongoers could play at Rockstar's booths. Surprisingly though, the game wasn't as well received as Rockstar North were expecting, however, and not many ongoers played GTA 3 much as it was there. Instead, rather, the interest was more into a game known as State of Emergency, which was another playable Rockstar title at their booth. Dan Houser, video game producer, writer, voice actor, and co-founder with his brother Sam and vice president of creativity for Rockstar Games, recalled, quote, "The early part of showing people the game, including E3 2001, was disconcerting because it was incredibly underwhelming. We thought it could be magical, not the Holy Grail, but this thing that was 3D but open and expansive, combining elements of hardcore action, driving, adventuring, all these genres. Very cinematic and story-driven gameplay. This experience is really unlike anything you've seen before, and people were scratching their heads around it. We were all, are we wrong?" There was enormous excitement around a few other games coming that fall. We went to E3 and everyone was obsessed by State of Emergency, and no one gave a crap really about GTA 3. State of Emergency we thought was interesting, but not without its flaws, some of which never got resolved. But GTA 3 was already running, and we thought, this is amazing! But E3, I think, isn't the best place to show a game anyway, and that's definitely become solidified in our thinking since then. Yes, E3 2001 was the reason why Rockstar doesn't really show upcoming games at E3 all that much, or not at all anymore. E3 2001 left a shame on them pretty much, making them rethink whether or not it's worth showing games at there or not. And for them, it's not. About the booth itself, there were people there who had actually recorded footage of the demo, of that footage which I will show a few small parts of here. One of the first noticeable differences was the HUD, which had a different color scheme. Also, it may be hard to spot, but the money text also had a different font, which looks like it came right out of GTA 2, maybe as a placeholder. In this different footage, you can also hear music even though the person is driving in a police car. Some of the particle effects are also different here as well. There also seems to be a music track playing here that doesn't seem to be recognizable from the final game, but you can't hear it very well due to the E3 crowd and poor camera quality. Apart from that, there really isn't all that much else to say about the footage. Both IGN and GameSpot, two of some of the larger gaming websites around, did articles on their impressions regarding E3 2001. Both sites said that it was a fun and immersive experience. And that was pretty much it for E3 2001 regarding Grand Theft Auto 3, but we're not done yet. You see, what happened to those E3 assets? In 2012, a user by the name of Philip454 from GTA Forums posted a few threads regarding beta Grand Theft Auto 3 files. He claimed that they were from E3 and that the files came from a real source. He posted the water levels, time cycle, particles, and a few sound banks. At first, however, people were calling him out for faking the files and rather it being a mod. However, after he started making videos that compared his files to the E3 trailer, they were proven that the files were in fact real. Philip said that he got these files from a German friend who did not want to share the whole thing, but rather just a few files from it. However, unfortunately, one of those that were not shared was the GTA3.img file, which holds almost the most important stuff that can be found within the game's own files. After people started calling him and his friend out for not sharing the build, he announced that his friend had sold it to an unknown buyer and that the disc is in someone else's hands now, and unfortunately, we'll most likely never know who that person was. YouTube user MattJ155, who collects beta builds for various games, got in contact with Jeff Gerstmann, former editorial director of GameSpot and co-founder and editor of Giant Bomb, who had played Grand Theft Auto 3 at that year's E3. Gerstmann had told Matt, quote, "People played it at E3, however it was never sent out to the media as far as I know," end quote. Matt has since also managed to acquire a Rockstar Games E3 2001 asset disc, which contains Grand Theft Auto 3 and some other E3 titles such as State of Emergency. This disc did not contain any builds, but rather contained interesting screenshots, documents, and videos. His video of showing off this E3 asset disc will be in the description box down below. Anyways guys, that pretty much rounds up Grand Theft Auto 3's appearance at E3. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, I probably will make more of these in the future. I hope you enjoyed it, as well as the new narrator. I'm going to plug myself in, by the way, real quick. I am Thunder from HGCentral. I do a lot of car game stuffs, as well as like Let's Plays, Need for Speed mod showcases, and all that other kind of stuff. You can check me out in the description down below. Mocha, who has been in the previous videos, will still be doing voiceovers, but more people over time will voice other videos and stuff as the channel goes on. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching, and goodbye.